watch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Happy Creamsicle Day. I forgot to wear anything. I don't have anything creamsicle. That's why I didn't wear anything cream. Actually, I think I do have one creamsicle shirt, but I'm not wearing it today in protest that if we wear creamsicles, we lose. But happy Creamsicle Day. Did I just dump on that right off the top? Peter Blake, good morning to you. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
Just want everybody to know I love the creamsicles as a adornment, as accoutrement, but I don't like playing in them because we lose.
We always lose, it seems
I don't like to lose. But that's just the way it is. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good. I was about to get you some Rays sound. Do you want some of that Rays sound?
Yeah, give me some of that real good Rays sound. That's about right. That's about right. How many hits they get last night?
How many runs did they get last night? I mean,
2 runs last night.
Woo! Yeah. Rays baseball, baby.
Hey, Junior Caminero had a hit.
Wow, that's
16 miles per hour off the bat.
Mm.
Didn't need that in the lineup 3 weeks ago. But okay, he's up, and they lose again, 3-2. That's 8 of 11. They're a game under 500 now. But as you said, what's to talk about? Oh, and the headline from the game last night, Yordan Alvarez broke the video board before the game.
Wow.
Smacking home runs off the video board.
Hmm.
Now, I'm no electronic genius, but if I'm going to build a board that big, I'm probably going to make it like baseball proof since it's in a baseball field and people can actually hit the board. Okay. That would be a design issue for me. But then again, to this point, it's survived, but no longer. So they had those issues. Once again, they lose. We're losing interest in the Rays, just so you know. We're losing interest in the Rays.
I fell asleep last night. I'm not going to lie. I fell asleep during the game. I was on my comfy couch. Alexander was laying in the floor. I was trying to watch the game, trying to be the eternal optimist that I am, and I'm turning in to basically the pessimist.
Damn it. You know what? I woke up at 4:00 in the morning again. And I'm trying to go to bed earlier now, and I just wake up earlier. And I can't go back to sleep.
Right.
I should have put the damn Rays replay on.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I'll be right back to sleep. Kind of make a note. I need to write that down. Make a note of that for.
Write it down because it is definitely the cure for insomnia. That's
there you go.
So
beautiful. All right. So the big, obviously, topic of conversation today, our monologue, is on the Tampa Bay Lightning being sold at a valuation of $2 billion. Now, of course, the first thing you need to know, Lightning fans, is Jeffrey Vinik, your beloved owner, is not going anywhere in the foreseeable future. Said he will remain in control of day-to-day operations for several years. Now, we don't know exactly what that means, but he said for several years. Now, first and foremost, there was this rush to Twitter and Facebook and everywhere to say, oh, he must be buying the Rays.
It would be
the guy they were talking about. No.
Right.
No, he was not the guy they were talking about. The guy they were talking about is $10 billion rich. And Mr. Vinik is very, very wealthy, but he's not $10 billion wealthy, according to Forbes. I don't know. I don't look into his bank account, but Forbes does these things. And they don't even have him listed as a billionaire, which I thought was interesting, at least in the valuations that I saw. But he's a very wealthy man, and he is very philanthropic as well. Maybe that's why he's not a gabillionaire, because he likes to give away his money, which is something that has been great for obviously the local community here and charities with the Lightning Foundation and the Community Hero that has done over 10 million, I think at this point, 10 million. So he is a beloved owner. He is the best owner in sports, in my opinion, humble opinion. And yes, I do contract work for the Lightning. So, but I think many, many would agree. So I don't think there's no mortal danger of anybody coming in and moving the franchise. The comments from out of market of this story were freaking hilarious. Like, oh, now they can move it out of that terrible hockey market. Who is sold out for like 8 years. won 2 Stanley Cups, been to the final. Like, there's still morons out there that hold on to this original 6, right? Whatever. We are a hockey market. By the way, the state of Florida is a much better hockey market than most of the markets up north, especially for success on the ice, as we can definitely empirically prove that through performance. But also we can prove it through ESPN naming the Lightning as the best sports franchise in North America a few years ago, the constant sellouts, the constant season ticket holder feedback that the NHL does each and every year. The Lightning were number 1 again. So, yeah, the organization is solid. Jeffrey Vinik's not going anywhere. That's the most important thing. And no, he's not buying the Rays. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but the people I've spoken to and common sense would tell you he wants nothing to do with the Rays. He did want something to do with the Rays many, many years ago, I was told, but dealing with Stu Sternberg does the same thing to every smart person, and that's they run as fast as they can because it's just like talking to a wall. He's going to ask for 50% more than it's worth and not negotiate. That's pretty much the way he works, and smart people like Jeffrey Vinik don't have time for that. They have Water Street to build, franchises to run, and he bought it for $170 million many moons ago. Was it 13, 14 years ago? Mm-hmm. He bought the Lightning, and there was a lot of real estate, by the way, included in that deal. And I'm guessing that the $2 billion valuation, for some reason, people are freaking out over that. Like, who cares, number one? And number two, a lot of real estate is probably in that deal as well, in that valuation, since that was purchased in the original agreement. I'm not here to tell you I know all that stuff, but I'm guessing there's some real estate that's part of that valuation. But also, and you'll hear this from Bob Melandro, who's going to join us at 11:15 from Whitecap Sports. He is we've had him on before. He is a broker for sports franchises, and he has actually had some contact with Mr. Doug Ostover, who is the new Lightning would-be owner from Blue Owl Capital. We'll tell you a little bit about him as we go through the show. He has been sniffing around trying to buy some NHL franchises or pieces of NHL franchises. So he is, this is not something that is new to him in terms of trying to acquire a team, but he has not been a sports owner before. So we'll learn more about it. His profile looks very much like Jeffrey Vinik's profile, involved in capital and investments, and a Northeasterner, lives in Greenwich, Connecticut. So it's very, very much a similar profile of a lot of these really, really rich dudes, right? They all live up in the Northeast. He's on the Michael J. Fox Foundation Board of Trustees. So heavily involved in philanthropy. So interesting man. I don't know if he's going to do any type of press conference or anything like that. I think it's very much down the road. We don't know what percentage he is buying into. It could be a small percentage. It could be a very large percentage. And my guess from Mr. Vinik, and this is all educated speculation on my part, is, as we all know, he's going through a divorce. So from a financial standpoint, that can be an absolute disaster. And that is something I know very well. And the laws in the state of Florida are extremely punitive when you are a very rich man. So he's going to have to, and I don't want to be, over dramatize this at all. It is what it is. When you're married for a long time, you're going to have to give up, at least in his probably almost half of his wealth. And in order to do that, you have to liquidate a lot of it. So that's probably what's going on in this particular case. Now, for those of you who are thinking, oh my God, he's going to come save my Rays, that is very, very doubtful. A couple of things. Now, we had the New York Post writer on a couple of weeks ago who wrote the piece about a $10 billion a sports owner, an owner of another sports team who came in, was going to replace the guys that dropped out last November that were trying to buy the Rays with a Tampa-based group. So he came in, and my information is that he wanted to be the managing general partner. So that Tampa group that was trying to acquire them, they wanted to be the controlling partner. So they said, well, if you're coming in then and you want to do it, then we're out. So that deal fell apart a few months ago. And that deal was being negotiated, according to the New York Post and my sources as well, while the Rays were putting out the "We're here to stay" mantra in St. Pete, having done the agreement and trying to get the agreement done. So that was in concurrence with that. So that was going on behind the scenes at the same time. Not sure if that was revealed to the city council. In fact, I think it was not. And the group, the Tampa group, at least I was told, did not want to build a stadium in St. Pete. So take that for what it's worth. But I do not think Mr. Vinik, I definitely know he wasn't that person because he's not worth $10 billion. But I think, I don't think he would do it anyway. Why would you sell the Lightning, your baby, that you built up, that you have, put your life and soul into, and, the community hero program? I mean, it's been everything for Mr. Vinik. Sell that and then buy the Rays, who are building a stadium in St. Petersburg. Who knows better than Jeffrey Vinik that that's a failed location? And the Lightning are proof positive that if you put it in downtown Tampa or near it, you can do multiple sellouts, even for a game like hockey, which is not the firstborn of anybody who grew up in Tampa Bay. And we know that, right? So he knows that. It would shock me beyond all belief why he would want to be entangled in that huge development in a failed location in a baseball team. I know he was part owner of the Red Sox before. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I, frankly, not sure. And depending on how much he sells this for and how much he gets out of it, forget the divorce is happening. It's just that I don't think the numbers work. And I don't think he would. Why would he do that? Why would you get rid of your Lightning to go take the Rays? That just doesn't make any sense to me at all. So I do not think that that's a thing. I just don't. Now, is there still another person trying to buy the Rays? Yes, I spoke with that person face to face. And this was as of 6 weeks ago before the vote. So I don't know if that's still something that's in play. Trying to reach back out to that person to find out, but I would not be shocked if that's still very much in play. So we shall see. But anyway, I don't think this is a terrible development for Lightning fans. Now, in the long run, does this mean that it's going to be handed over to Doug Ostover, I believe is how you pronounce it? Yeah, it appears that way. We don't know right now, and there's probably a lot of things that need to be done in terms of negotiations. How big is the piece? Is he going to be the day-to-day operator? We shall see. I think it's trending that way, but I mean, if I'm a Lightning fan that's so far off in the distance, I wouldn't worry one bit about it. And I did see some stuff online like, oh, well, the Hartford Whalers are still available as a copyright or a franchise or whatever. That's not happening. Why would you move a franchise this successful in this area to another market that is, didn't support their team and was the reason they had to be moved to Carolina? That doesn't make any sense at all. So I think Lightning fans at this point, there's nothing really to worry about. Jeffrey Vinik is not going anywhere anytime soon. The Lightning are on a new path, obviously post-Stamkos era. And I believe they're a Stanley Cup contender. And I don't think there's anything I don't think in any way Jeffrey Vinik is hamstrung financially to not be able to meet some needs if contracts or trades come available. I think there's plenty of money and plenty of cash to run the business. I just don't think there's anything to worry about. It's a big story, and I get it. But as if you're a Lightning fan, I don't think there's going to be any real effect in terms of what happens on the ice. And I will go ahead and as I pull this up, I was going to do the statement, but go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's going back to it. I mean, I got text messages. Does JP know about this because he works for the Tampa Bay Lightning? And I said, listen, just read it. It's not all about the headline. It's about what's going on. He's still going to have control of this team. So everybody just relax at the end of the day. But you kind of wonder, how long is he going to have control of this team? And of course, a lot of Lightning fans would worry about, and I want you to put this out there, how would it affect the organization going forward?
I just don't think it will. As I just mentioned, I don't think it's going to affect it positively or negatively. And it could affect it positively because it gives Mr. Vinik more cash to do whatever it is he wants to do. I don't think he needed it. I do think it's probably more divorce oriented, and I don't want to talk about a man's personal life, but I think that's just an obvious thing that's out there. Talking to attorneys and knowing how the deal works here in Florida, that's probably what some of this is about. But I don't know. I have no idea, and I don't mean to be, intrusive in that at all. I think it's just if you're looking for something that's triggering this, and he's getting older. I'm sure he would like to retire and watch his hockey team and his grandkids and his kids and enjoy his family. At some point when you have this much money, you want to enjoy it, right? And I think it's also as a very smart investment man. I think this is a pretty good time to be unloading sports franchises, or certainly agreeing to a future price, because I think there's a pending recession. And depending on the election, it could get much, much, much deeper. And I think you're seeing this across the landscape of sports. And we'll talk to Bob Melandro about this a little bit later on, because I think there has been an uptick in sales of sporting of teams. And there's definitely been an uptick in valuations in the NHL. That's something that's really, really interesting. And Bob will speak to that a little bit later on. Yeah, so the quote from Jeffrey Vinik is, "I can confirm that we are in discussions to further expand our ownership group of the Tampa Bay Lightning. There will be no change in the day-to-day operations of the Lightning and the Vinik sports groups. I'm very excited about what is to come for the organization, and we look forward to sharing more when the time is right." So, yeah, there's no imminent handover of the team. The best owner in sports will continue to be the best owner in sports right here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, Thomas Casper asked, and he would know, in this business, Lightning are valued at $1.25 billion, 50 million. Curious of the $2 billion. Well, I think, like I said before, I'm guessing there's probably some real estate in that deal, because there was real estate in the original deal, a significant amount of real estate in the deal. So I don't know how that works. If you take real estate in and out of companies, can put it in different companies. Was the real estate then transferred to the Water Street development? I'm not sure of any of that. But I do know this: the valuations of hockey teams right now are going through the roof. The last one that was sold was Ottawa, I believe, and that was a bit some time ago, just under $1 billion. But he will explain this, because he's been doing these valuations and has done some. I believe some transactions in the last couple of years, and he'll tell you why, because the arenas are sold out across North America. They're selling tickets like crazy, and their new media deal is expected to be huge, because their viewership is trending upwards tremendously. So as we've always thought, I've always said to myself in observing these games, I mean, why is hockey not more widely watched? Why are the ratings not better? Because it's way better than baseball. That's for damn sure. I think it's way more watchable than the NBA. I think, next to football and college football, I'm watching hockey. It's especially playoff hockey. And they've got 2 months of playoff hockey that is very highly rated. There's I think the revenues in hockey are going up tremendously. And live sports, in terms of these teams now owning their own streaming rights and being able to sell those, I think are also extremely valuable in this time where finding large audiences for advertisers is extremely difficult. So yeah, the valuations of these hockey teams are going through the roof. And I think that's probably the number one reason Mr. Vinik is doing this. He's taking advantage. He's selling at the height of the market. That's what good businessmen do. Buy low, sell high. And if you could sell and still be in day-to-day own the day-to-day operations of your team, well, that's a huge win-win, right? You still keep doing what you're doing, what you love to do, and you make more money. Okay. And you protect yourself against any downfall of values in a recession. Because listen, those tickets ain't cheap, and it's going to be harder and harder for fans to buy them. Not that they don't want to buy them. It's just the economy is what it is. And the first thing that's going to go is dispensable income. And when you can watch the games on TV, I think you can still, that's up in the air for the Lightning as well, but it also provides an opportunity to make more money in a new era of streaming, then, why wouldn't you do that? Seems like just really, really smart business to me more than anything else. I wouldn't panic about anything if you're a Lightning fan. Now, if you're a Rays fan, I'd be in pure panic mode, but
it's always panic mode, or it's always this sound effect right here.
Yes.
That's the sound effect for the whole offense lately. I mean, just awful.
It's brutal.
Yeah. So,
all right. Bucs are at the Jaguars as we speak, and we will be channeling our inner Pewter report as they give us updates on their Twitter. And of course, we will be getting them full credit for their eyes and ears over there at the Bucs and Jags do their joint practices, which have basically replaced preseason games now as far as starters getting their reps, because coaches can control that. They can control the contact, no contact on the quarterback. I mean, if you can get the reps in a joint practice for your starters and your quarterback is not in danger, that seems like a much better way than to put them out there and put them in danger. Now, like we said yesterday, though, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Now, obviously, Baker Mayfield's a veteran quarterback, but even he needs to get hit. Even he needs to get used to getting hit, because guess what? Week 1, they're going to hit you. They're going to hit you. And you want to be able to hold on to the ball and be used to the contact. It's a double-edged sword. I get it. But for my money, I'm going the Andy Reid way, and I'm playing my starters to get them at least some work in the preseason. But we'll see what Todd Bowles elects to do. And I think depending on what happens in the joint practices, if your first team is out there and you feel like they're getting good reps and they're doing great stuff and you don't need to see any more, then no, I wouldn't risk my players. And I'm not going to be able to know that. I'm just talking about philosophically. I'm not going to be able to know that, but the coaches will. And listen, it's their responsibility to have this team ready to play week 1. If they come out and shoot themselves in the foot offensively week 1 and they haven't played their starters the entire preseason, I think it's fair to criticize like we did last year. I think it's fair. So we'll see if he adjusts any of his preseason routine, because as I recall, they didn't play at all last year in the preseason. Baker or I think they played maybe 1 or 2 series, if that.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I think it was about 1 or 2 series, and they came out, he got a touchdown, and then that was it. He went back in, and was that a mistake? Because you go back to it. Was that because is that the reason why the offense came out and struggled for the first half of the season? Because I was talking to Leo Haggerty about this on the Sports Web. Is this may be the trend by NFL teams at the end of the day, but it's not always good. If this is a trend, should we expect low-scoring games? Is this good if you're a Vegas bettor to bet the under, if you will, because you're missing, those preseason games, which we've been told over and over again don't matter because of, these joint practices and because of training camp. So I still think it's the offensive coordinator. I still think, they're going to get some work, but this offense is going to be that much better for Liam Cohen. He's the key, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And I think he's a great pickup, and I love his energy. And he just gives you a feel of, I know what the F I'm doing. And you can see it on the field in week 1. I thought, you go back and look at the operation, as I recall, they didn't have any pre-snap penalties, maybe 1 pre-snap penalty. That's you don't see them in practice. They are very buttoned up in practice, I think way more so than last year. I thought last year at times, offensive practices especially were quite sloppy. And you don't see a lot of that. And it's up-tempo too. I love the fact that when they have a big play, they're back at the line of scrimmage and they're going for more. It's that up-tempo. That's a hallmark of a Sean McVay offense, where when you get the defense on your heels, they're coming at you. They're coming at you. And I love that tempo. And you even see it in practice. It's tempo. They're running plays every 20 seconds. Last year, they'd run a play and then they talk and then they blah, blah, blah. And then, then they'd run a play another minute later. It was just sloppy. And you don't see that this year in practice. It's very, very tight and very controlled, very disciplined, very detailed. It's just different. It's a different tempo, and I hope to see that. The Jags and Bucs are practicing right now. They are out there. It looks like Christian Kirk, according to Jags reporters, is not practicing today, according to Michael DeRocca at ESPN. Jags. So he is not. They won't get a chance to cover him, but the one-on-one stuff is going to be the really good stuff.
Right.
So if we get reports from the Pew Report guys, we'll put them back over to you. Jalen McMillan is already showing off, according to Scott Reynolds.
Wow.
I love that dude, man. No Chase Edmonds, no Sterling Shepard or Jordan Whitehead at the morning practice. Jalen McMillan and Cam Johnson have traded in their non-contact gear for actual uniforms. So Cam Johnson is back out there. He's had a good first couple of weeks of camp, and then he got injured, which is really going to hurt him in terms of making the team, because I believe he was wide receiver 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you fall out for a week or so because of an injury, guys are going to pass you. And so it's good. It'll be good to see him get out there and get some work against the Jaguars and see if he stands out. All right, to the comments. Rick, good morning to you, my friend. Stu charged those crickets almost full price for Tuesday.
Oh, there you go.
Don't need to fix the scoreboard. Nothing changes anyway. I'm going to go ahead and float this conspiracy theory because that's what I do.
Right.
I think they turn the lights out on the board. I think when 60% of your lineup is hitting below the Mendoza line, who wants to look up at that big board and see 112 staring back at him? 174, 189. Like I think Christopher Morel went up there and unplugged the damn thing himself. Like I don't need this. Every time I come to bat, I got to be reminded that I'm 0 for my last 75 since I got here. I think what happened was he had a mutiny. He had a mutiny among the Rays players. And they said, you know what? I'm tired of seeing my stinky ass batting average up there. I'm tired of it. Staring me in the face every time. I mean, if you're Taylor Walls, what's that doing to your self-image? I mean, how do you stay confident looking at 147?
He plays defense. He plays defense, JP. Don't you know he's the new Kevin Kiermaier? I mean, I have a conspiracy theory. I think
I'd unplug that son of a bitch myself. Jesus.
I think electric costs are too high. I mean, I got a $200.
That's another thing. Yeah, Stu's got to pay the bill. He's got
to pay the bill. You got to pay bills. He's not going to pay that bill. He doesn't want to pay the bill. He's not investing in this team. Come on now.
Come on. We're spending money on electricity. Yeah. We're hurting the confidence and the self-image of our players by constantly flashing their horrific batting averages up right in their face. Yeah. Get rid of that thing. Unplug that bitch.
Yeah.
What do we need that thing for?
Yeah. Everybody gets a participation award. Everybody gets a participation trophy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Show them. Don't want to hurt their feelings.
That's exactly what happened.
Well, it's all about feelings.
Trying to blame it on Yordan Alvarez for hitting it with batting practice.
Yeah.
I call bull crap.
Absolutely.
Taylor Walls unplugged that bitch. Yes, we are, James. We're definitely going to get to the Paul Feinbaum.
Oh,
crap.
God. Can I play this, please? Hold on. I mean, that's what I thought of. That's the sound effect. Anytime you hear Paul Feinbaum talk about Florida State or college football, that's what you should hear right there. That should accompany it. You put that in your Reels kids on TikTok. Anytime he starts talking, just put that fart sound effect there. Put that, wow.
Yeah.
Just awful, man.
So some of the comments. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers recently turned down a proposal to buy the franchise for a tick above the $6.5 billion that a group led by Josh Harris paid for the Washington Commanders last year. I wonder who tried to buy the Bucs. I don't think it was Jeffrey Vinik.
Well,
I wonder who tried to buy the Bucs. That would be interesting to know. And by the way, the Glazers said no, thank you. We love our Buccaneers, and I'm happy for that because we have no idea who the new owner would be. And I don't think you could find, frankly, I don't think you could find better owners than the Glazers right now. No, Man United fans may have a different take, but since they bought Man United, the Glazers have been exemplary owners in every way. So I hope they don't sell. I think they're doing a hell of a job. Now they have a little stadium issue of their own that they're going to have to deal with. I'm still putting out there my dual dual stadium deal. You have the Rays Stadium on one side, right? And in the middle, you have the big superstructure of the casino. That's right, I said casino. And all the bars and restaurants in the middle that serve both fields, right? That would be cool. And then on the other side, you have the football field. So you only have to build one superstructure and 2 fields. How cool would that be? Big casino in the middle, bars and restaurants everywhere. Where could you build that? That would be really nice.
That would be nice. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And then you have here's the coup de grace of my design, Peter.
Okay.
You have a roof that slides.
Wow.
It's like when you're at a football game. If you want to, if it's nice weather, you slide it back over the baseball stadium. If it's bad weather, if it's hot, September games, over on top of the football stadium.
There you
Get a little AC going. Right. And then for baseball, April and May, we have open grass, and you got grass on both fields, by the way, because you slide it back and forth. Then you have, if you're for April and May, the beautiful months here in spring, we can have outdoor baseball. And then when the summer comes, the roof goes back over the baseball thing. Freaking brilliant.
I like the sound
brilliant.
effect.
Freaking brilliant. We have, and then we can house both teams in Hillsborough County, even better. Oh, but we already have the deal in St. Pete done. Okay. See when shovels go in the ground. Okay. Also, James says, but if Vinik bought the Rays, one thing for sure, he would make sure the redevelopment of the area around the Trop would be done properly. How do you know that, James? Because he did it already with Water Street. That's right. There's the lightning valuation. Ray Kennedy, good morning to you, because they need to bring back the puck bug.
Yeah, puck bug. I don't know what that is. What is that? Puck bug?
That was the old highlighter for the puck. You used to have a little flame on it.
Yeah.
They need to bring that back. Follow the puck. I like that thing. They got rid of it, but I kind of liked it. Now at HDTV, you can follow the puck a lot easier. Yes, we're going to comment on Feinbaum, my friend. What else Ray Kennedy has to say here? The jump from Tom Brady's offense to Dave Canales was a lot bigger a jump than from Dave's to Liam's offense. But the Buccaneer offense is 100% dialed in. I agree. I mean, there's a lot of the different terminology, but a lot of the concepts are the same. They come from the Rams tree. The difference is I don't think Liam Cohen's going to just run the ball up the middle in zone run schemes when he has a terrible interior line like they did last year. Now they've improved the interior line. So, but I think Liam Cohen's will be a much more elaborate and creative in his play design. We've already seen that, and play calling as to not be as predictable. Already just formationally, when you're 3 wide is your base, and they've gone a lot of 4. They did a lot of 4 wide. Instead of an inline tight end, they're using that tight end as more split in the slot, give them better blocking angles. By the way, Devin Culp, who was not hailed as a great blocker, did a hell of a job blocking in week 1. So I think Devin Culp has played his way on his team as a 7th round pick, and Evan Klein as a 6th round pick. Boy, I watched the all 22. That dude is better than I thought. Now I've been out there at almost every practice, and he's got sweet feet, and he brings a thump. You can tell. It's funny because I'm football nerdy. I'll go over there and watch him hit the bag. When certain guys hit the bag in the sled, when certain guys hit it, there's a force to it, right? There's a force to it. The timing of the blow, everything. You can just feel it. You see how the sled moves. For some, it moves easily. For Tristan Wirfs, he throws it around like a toothpick.
Right.
For others, it's a little bit more laborious, right? And for Klein, it's, I'd say he's above average. He thumps that thing and moves it. So he's got a nice thump to him. He's naturally big, and he's quick and rather nimble on his feet, I would say. Yeah. So I think both you have a 6th and a 7th round pick that are definitely going to make this team. And Bucky Irving, he's a 5th round pick, right? Or their 5th pick. Will definitely make the team.
I think he's 4th, right?
He'll definitely make the team.
Yeah.
As will obviously all the other guys. So hell of another great draft by Jason Lane, who, by the way, will be joining us at some point.
Well, that's good.
I was texting with him yesterday. Since he hit me on my shoulder the other day when I was out there, gave me a little punch as he walked by. I said, in lieu of pressing charges, I'll settle out of court for an appearance on the podcast, and he agreed to that.
Love to have him.
We don't want to get attorneys involved in this. I mean, it's that's a no win for anybody. So
right. We're gonna have him.
I don't have to skip. If I stick Scott Jeeves on him, it's just gonna be ugly. So we'll just have him come on the podcast. It'll be fine.
You got to have him on Wednesday. And going back to Elijah Klein, we shouldn't be surprised because it was the question I asked Graham Barton. And remember how he talked about his footwork, how physical he was, his hand placement. Going back to injury, Chase Edmonds also, I don't know if he makes this team now with Sean Tucker stepping up and having Bucky Irving. And
I think the bigger thing here is for the running backs is I don't think you keep 4. I don't think – and Sean Tucker, by the way, was playing teams the other night and is doing a good job. So if Sean Tucker's playing teams and he's running that way, he's still got to work on his blocking big time. He totally got steamrolled one play. Then I think that was the play that Trask stood in there and threw that great ball to Rock Jarrett, but he got abused in terms of with a blitzing linebacker. So well, I think maybe you just keep 3 because you're almost going to want to keep 6 wide receivers, and you may want to keep the middle linebacker. They are stacked at middle linebacker too now. I think they've got some real talent there. So I don't think Chase Edmonds is going to make this team.
I don't either.
Can't make the club in the tub, brother.
Nope. 4 tight ends.
William, no, I don't see 4 tight ends. I don't see 4. I just don't see Cokeef fitting. Bless his heart. I don't see him as a good fit in this offense. William Madden asked, do you think they'll ever crack to $1 million? I don't think so. In terms of valuation of the Bolts, well, that's what they're valued at. And I think, again, Bob Melandro is going to come on. I think you'll find this very interesting, William. So listen to him. He's brokering these NHL deals. And we were talking about this last night, that the valuations on these hockey teams are going through the roof. So he'll have some more information on that. Ray says they've taken the Tropicana straw out of the orange in right field to put it up in Tampa Bay Rays fans' asses so they can blow sunshine. Damn, Ray, that was invasive.
Great job, Ray.
Ray was invasive.
Ray bringing the content
probably not too far from the truth.
True. Yeah.
Thomas is on board with my brilliant idea. Stadium serving Bucs, Rays, and Rowdies in MLS off a Brightline station. Wow. That way makes way too much sense. And hosting concerts because you get rid of that crappy amphitheater.
Then, but maybe. Why not?
I'm printing money with a casino in the middle.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Sportsbook serving both stadiums. We're just printing money here. And by the way, if Hillsborough County doesn't have the money to do it, they won't need to. Some people actually finance their own stadiums and make tons of money doing it. You know who did that? Jerry Jones. You know how much the Cowboys are worth? $10 billion.
$10 billion. Billion. Yes.
So maybe, if you get the land for free and the infrastructure done for you, which should be done by the county and the city, and the state throws in a little, county throws in a little, and the majority of it is privately owned and privately revenued. I think there's some pockets deep enough to get that whole thing done. And you're doing it in an area, the fairgrounds across from the casino. You're doing it where you have exponential population growth. And that casino is already the most profitable casino in America, we're told. So there you go. All right, let's take a break, and we'll come back with all your great comments. We'll get into some more college football news. We got Bob Melandro coming up of Whitecap Sports to talk about team valuation and the sale of the Lightning, and much more. We are brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group. Scott Jeeves, great dude, brings you your Gator report every Monday and Friday. Big Gator fan. Going to be going with me to Dublin to see the Seminoles play, so he loves all the teams. It's the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Keep it local, folks. If somebody knows the local landscape of the legal landscape here, that's important, and will make you feel like the important client that you are. The JeevesLawGroup.com. Back in 3. Stay with us. Celebrate August with the dazzling green hue of Peridot, known for its vibrant and refreshing sparkle. Yes, that's the birthstone of August at the Gold and Diamond Source. Explore the Gold and Diamond Source's stunning collection of Peridot jewelry, showcasing the gemstone's unique glow and versatility in rings, necklaces, and earrings. Peridot's distinctive color makes it a standout choice for any occasion, adding a touch of elegance and charm to your ensemble. Enjoy 15% off when you shop August Gems online only. Stop by the Gold and Diamond Source to experience the allure of August Gem and let their expert staff help you find the perfect Peridot piece. It's the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmsted Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Hey, it's football season, so we welcome back the FSU Football Report every Monday and Friday on the JP Peterson Show, sponsored by those huge FSU fans at Italiano Insurance. Folks, they've been 60 years, named the Small Business of the Year Chamber of Commerce, mostly because of their incredible customer service. So they'll save you money as well. Just do a quick insurance checkup, 813-877-7799. They just saved me $500 on homeowners insurance. Who's doing that? Yeah, they just shopped it around, found a better, cheaper company, and we got a cheaper price. And business insurance, make sure you're covered or you could lose your personal wealth. That's 813-877-7799, ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Noles.
Hey Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the US Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right, that's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez in Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. And we're brought to you by the great folks at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Get your, very interesting. The lovely Ashley went to her primary care for her insurance company yesterday, and she said she had a virtual person check her out. Like, they're not even just from the, she's, moving. Well, yes, go over to that screen and talk to that person in Siberia. And she's like, what? This is what you get from your insurance officers. I'm like, what? Like, how much? I said, how much time did the doctor spend with you? She's like 10 minutes for my annual exam. And it's like, and she didn't even have her blood work back because they made her come in to get the blood work order. Now she's got to go get the blood work. And then she got to come back to do, but it's not the way it works at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, folks. They'll give you, Chris Lugo will give you the requisition for your blood work. You go get your blood work done, which your insurance will pay for. Then you come in and he spends an hour and a half with you, like he did with you, Peter, and me, and goes over all his blood work while you're sleeping, your everything, to get a personalized program for you that will get you healthy and help you stay healthy. This is not about treating when you get sick, coming to see the doctor. The idea here is not to get sick and to develop healthy habits, healthy eating, healthy sleeping, healthy workouts, you need testosterone or other hormonal things. If you need something, obviously he's going to prescribe it, but for the most part, he wants to keep it very natural and make you healthy. And this is not what the Western medicine is geared towards. So we highly recommend Bay Area Modern Medical Center, where you get personal attention from a live human being. It's amazing. Not somebody in Siberia or wherever the hell they're checking you out. Yeah. Yes, our good friends at Pewter Report on Twitter are posting some great videos here. It looks like the Bucs defense is getting torched in red zone by Mac Jones. Zion McCollum's been beaten a couple times for a touchdown. This is why this is so good, man. You need the feedback. It's all, you never know when you're going up against yourself, whether it's good or bad. So, Baker connecting with Mike Evans on an out route. We got that. Kalen Deloach bit on the play and was out of position on this other one. That finds Trevor Lawrence finds Parker Washington. So, So some interesting stuff coming from our friends at Pewter Report. And we'll keep you posted on anything happening with Bucs Jags.
According to ESPN, 49ers still want to keep Brandon Ayuk. They want to sign him to a long-term deal. But, and this is a big but with a big B, they have agreed with the Steelers. So the Steelers and their parameters of this trade right now, if they cannot get a long-term deal done, they have an agreement on the parameters with the Steelers. What is John Lynch doing? What does this make sense to you? They still want to sign him to a long-term deal, but then they got parameters for a trade agreement with the Steelers. Are they playing this correctly, in your opinion?
This is hard for me to question John Lynch because he has a lot more information than I have. I don't know what their salary cap situation is. I don't know what Ayuk is demanding. I don't know any of that. I do know this, and John Lynch knows this. They are significantly better offense with Brandon Ayuk on the field. And that is dramatic in the numbers. If you look at Brock Purdy's quarterback rating with Ayuk on the field and with him off the field, I think it's 20 or 30 points. It's dramatically different. He's the best yardage per play guy in the league, I believe. Best with the ball in his hands after the catch. He's phenomenal football player. And it's hard to lose these guys. For the want of a few $1 million, I'm not sure why he would want to do that. But maybe it means he can't get Trent Williams done. I don't know. So I trust John Lynch. He's built the best roster in football. They haven't cracked it out, and won that Super Bowl just yet. I don't think so, right? They haven't won. They've been there.
Yeah, they've been there twice, and they lost both times to Kansas City and close contest. So I mean, I still think he's got the best roster in football, but it's going to, this is what happens. Salary cap is real and you start losing players. So you only have a window that's open for so long. Mm-hmm. I just, it's tough. He's got Deebo Samuel. He's got Ayuk. He's got McCaffrey. He's got Brock Purdy. He's going to have to pay. Trent, both. I mean, it's just one right after another. Yeah,
they're stacked. They get Kittle. They're stacked.
Yeah, you
can't pay everybody. So, that's good for the Bucs. It's good for the Bucs that the Lions are having a rash of injuries. It's good for the Bucs that the 49ers are not having Camp Kumbaya like the Bucs are having. So this stuff matters, folks. And the Bucs here's the thing. The Bucs are just entering their window with Mayfield under reasonable contract for 3 years, Evans under contract for another 2 years. Chris Godwin will be the only one they got to bring back next year. They got Wirth signed. They got Winfield signed. So they got everybody signed. And the cap's going up. And they're probably going to bring over $20 million. Now, here's the thing. for the Bucs right now. Matthew Judon is available.
Mm-hmm.
He is an edge rush monster. Hassan Reddick is an edge rush monster. And they've got enough money to get those deals done. They're going to have to give up some draft compensation, likely at least a third-round pick. Do you want to do it? Whew. If I'm Jason Light,
yeah,
man, that is a freaking prime rib staring me right in the face. And I mean, and you're saying to yourself, all right, my cholesterol is going up by 3 points if I do this. It's not going to help the waistline, but man, is it going to taste good.
Yep.
And short term, this is really going to make this defense so much better. Either one of those guys is the missing link, right? Now you're playing, if Yaya Diaby comes on and you can't see, and I think their pass rush is going to be really good, but get an injury here, an injury there. Now you're desperately in need of some pass rush. So this is a tough call. It's a tough call for Jason Light, but I think they'll be all right without him. But they'd be really good with them.
Sure. I mean, and you said it, the window is open at this point. So what do you have to give up? Do you have to give up a second or third round pick? How much do you have to pay him? We had TJ Reeves on the Sports Web the other night, and he said, well, if you do get him, does that stop you from signing a Chris Godwin or players in the future at this point? So that's what you also
generally speaking, if I have Jalen McMillan and Mike Evans and Trey Palmer's coming on, I've got a good crop of receivers. If you could tell me next year I could have Hassan Reddick for 3 more years or Chris Godwin, as much as I love Chris Godwin, and I love Chris Godwin.
Sure.
Edge rushing it's where it's at, man. It's where it's at. You got to have that guy. So
unless Light really, and we all know this, that he loves Chris Braswell at the second round pick. Do you want to play him right away? You would assume so, because he's going to take reps away from JTS, but you're exactly right. You lost Yaya, so what do you got? And I know it's a preseason game, but that's one of the biggest things that I worry about is, the pressure. Is the pressure there? Are you going to get the sacks? Is Chris Braswell going to provide that? Is JTS going to provide that? Here's what we know about Reddick and Judon. They're going to provide that. They're proven commodities. The problem is they're going to cost you money, which I have no problem with. They're going to be able to maneuver the salary cap, but it's also going to cost you capital. It's going to cost you a second or third round pick. So if you believe that this is your window and you are truly going all in, and I have no doubt about this, that this organization will go all in. They've done that with Tom Brady those 2 consecutive years. If you believe that you are a Super Bowl team, pull the trigger. Yeah. Pull the trigger on the prime rib. Barbecue sauce that up.
I would do it. I would do it, because even if Diaby is healthy this year, which is not, you have a high ankle sprain, those things have a way of lingering through the season. Yeah. So you don't know. You hope that he's going to be fine. He's young. He'll heal, right? Stem cells work wonders. So yeah, you think that he's going to be good, but if he's not, then you're struggling. I mean, there was no pass rush in the first preseason game. I'm not freaking out about it. They're not running all their blitz packages. Can't see in Vita Vea not playing a lot. I'm not too worried about it. That game, but I'm worried about the pass rush. I think it's their biggest weakness right now. I think it has the possibility and the potential to be really good. I think Cansey's going to be great. I think Vita Vea is going to be better slimmed down. I think Yaya's a monster. Anthony Yeltsin has and can do some things. You got some of these other kids, Jose Rodriguez and Marquise Watts, who have flashed and can be used. And you've got Lavonte David as a tremendous blitzer. You probably can use Kalen DeLoach in that role as well. So they can create some pass rush, but there is no replacement for a monster edge rusher. It just forces the offense to do so many different things that will open it up for everybody else. And it's that thing that the Bucs don't. And if Yaya's healthy and you got Judon or Reddick coming off one edge and Yaya off the other, holy hell.
Yes.
Good God. Good luck.
Yeah. And Bucs fans, you have to go back to history here. Simeon Rice, how much of an impact did he make? How much of the impact did he make on WhatsApp and that defensive line? How about Shaq Barrett and
He should have been the Super Bowl MVP. He dominated that game.
Right. I mean, we know history shows JPP, Shaq Barrett, how much of an impact did they make? In fact, Shaq Barrett, that Super Bowl year, you're not sure if you're going to get him back from injury. How important is he in that Green Bay game getting after Aaron Rodgers? How important is he versus the Chiefs? So, again,
pressure on the quarterback is absolutely essential to win a Super Bowl.
Sure.
You got to have it.
Yeah.
And when you can have it in an edge rusher and you don't have to manufacture it with blitzes, you're a much better defense. So it's rare that these guys come available. Now, here's the other thing. Daniil Hunter got 2 years, $49 million. $49 million. So it's like, okay, there's a few guys on this team that took a little less money. And it's like, oh, so now we're going to go out and pay this guy top dollar. I think they're good enough teammates that they know that bringing in somebody like that is going to be a difference maker for the entire team. So they trust in Light and they believe that but it's still, and how does that personality fit into the locker room? That's culture. A whole nother thing,
Right.
Hassan Reddick has been there one day. That's not what the Bucs players did. They got their extensions. They were in practice, including Tristan Wirfs. So he doesn't really fit that mold, but it's different organizations, different situations. So I think, but I trust Jason Light to do his due diligence. And if he thinks it's a good fit, then pull the trigger. Because I do think it's worth it. If I'm going to spend some money on something, and even though both of these guys are in their 30s, they've still been really, really productive the last few years. Super productive. So I'm in on it. All right. James says getting Reddick means Bowles can rush 4. Do you remember the Super Bowl? Bucs rushed 4, didn't blitz much. And guess what? Mahomes ran for his life and couldn't find anyone open. Yeah, it's a key.
Bingo.
It's a huge, huge key. And then you blitz when you need to. You mix things up, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big difference. Bucs wide receiver room is so deep, it's not an issue comparing Reddick to signing Godwin. Godwin just made $60 million. He's fine. Okay, he's not worried. Hey, you might even get Godwin back on a cheap deal.
Sure.
You might, but don't count on it. But listen, edge rusher overpaying, as much as I love Godwin, I think he's going to have a huge year. A 30-year-old receiver, edge rusher. Edge rusher is a big deal.
Yeah.
Nathan Elliott says Bucs pass rush will improve when Vita, Cansey, and Hall push their dominance up front. Vita slimmed down, Cansey fired up, and Hall bulked up. There will be pressure by the front three. I hear you, Nathan, and I love you, brother, but ain't nothing like an edge rusher, a bona fide edge rusher. And it makes all those guys in the middle even better because you're going to have to single up Cansey against, some of these guards in the league, which are slapdick prospects. He'll beat them in a heartbeat, and so will Vita Vea. But because you're going to have to double the outside, which keeps a George Kittle maybe, in for a count or two, and that affects the passing game. So yes, there's, and nobody knows this more than Todd Bowles. He'll sit there and say, yeah, we can create pressure. We don't, I don't have to have a guy getting 18 sacks coming off the edge, but I'd like to. Sure, he'd like to have an edge rusher like that. Absolutely. All right. Before we go to break, Nathan also mentioned this, which is important. You need to try the prime rib from Jesse's Steakhouse in Brandon.
Wow.
Is this a thing? I've not heard of Jesse's Steakhouse in Brandon.
Prime rib. It sounds so good right now.
Anybody at Jesse's Steakhouse in Brandon want to invite us out for a prime rib fest? I'm open.
Yeah, we'll bring our show too.
Prime rib, by the way. Prime rib with the horseradish, and it can't be it's got to be a good mix. The ratio of horseradish to the mayo has to be right.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to have a little bit of kick to it. Can't be too non-kicky. You got to have a good little pop to the horseradish, and you spread it over the nice medium rare prime rib. Oh, lordy, well marbled. Oof. Probably prime rib needs to be about 1.5 inches in my book. 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick. Can't be thin. Sometimes they do, in the buffets, they'll do the thin prime rib. Like, no, that doesn't get it. It's got to be at least 1 inch thick. That's real prime rib.
Okay. I want to read this comment from Rick. Trade JTS and the Stoner plus a penalty for Reddick and Judon.
If only we could get that deal done. Golly.
And stream Tim here. Not mayo, horseradish, and sour cream is the way to go.
Yeah, horseradish and sour cream. Much better. Much better. A little bit of chives in there. Throw a little chives in there or Vidalia onions.
Sounds good.
Oh, so good.
I'm getting hungry, man.
Who's got the best prime rib in Tampa Bay? Evidently, Jesse's is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
The Palmacia prime rib.
Okay.
On the buffet is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Where else have I had a good? Charlie's. Charlie's has a great prime rib. Great prime rib at Charlie's.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
I've heard
and Ruth Chris has a nice one as well.
Okay.
A prime rib. Any others want to throw out there? Any other nominations for best prime rib in Tampa Bay?
I can't. But throw it out there in the comments section.
Mm-hmm.
And the phone lines are open. We haven't had the scroll line there, but it is open. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255.
Good to see that Tim's up this morning.
Yeah, he is. He also had some things to say about my comments here. Ray seems abnormally aggressive this morning, and he said, Peter, it's $10.5 billion. Thank you very much. And if I were him, I would be bragging about that. Can't leave that half out. That's a big time factor there. Half.
Not billion for what?
$10.5 billion that Jerry Jones.
Oh, $10.5 billion. Okay.
Yeah.
James is up on the nothing beats the Palmacia prime rib. Yes, sir, brother. Oh,
and where's that?
The whole buffet, the Sunday morning buffet at Palmacia Country Club.
Really?
In South Tampa there. Oh, yeah. They also have some of the wings they do with the wing. Their wings are unbelievable. So good.
Yeah.
Cuban sandwich, fantastic.
Do you have a membership, or is it just a country club kind of deal?
Yeah. You have to be a member, but I'll be happy to take you over there for a nice, very reasonable too. Extremely reasonable.
Wow.
For what you'll pay $75 for the buffet, you get it at Palmacia for like $34. Nice. Very nice. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We will hear from Peter's favorite SEC honk, Paul Feinbaum, and what he had to say about Florida State. He hate us because he ain't us. That's what I'm tell you right there. We are brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My good friend John Rodriguez over there. They've been very busy after all the flooding that went on. There were some plumbing issues. Of course, summer AC, they're plenty busy. If you have anything happen to your plumbing or your AC and you want an honest tech to show up, that's where you're going. Third Generation Plumbing. They've been in business since 1995. You don't stay in business that long without being honest and a great word of mouth marketing. They love our show. That's why they support it. They don't need the advertising, but they will definitely love to service you and your plumbing and AC needs. So go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They also do AC. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Contact them through there and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3 with Mr. Paul Feinbaum. Jerk that he is.
This is The Strike. 102.5 WHPT, HD2 Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete.
Hey, it's football season, and we welcome back the Gator Report every Monday and Friday, sponsored by the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Just go to the website. You can contact them through there. Scott Jeeves is a tremendous, aggressive attorney and a big Gator fan, so we appreciate him supporting this show and, of course, your Florida Gators. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Whether it's personal injury or anything else, any law matter at all, it's the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Give them a call. Tell them JP sent you.
All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on TrueBody and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com.
JP here to ask the question, are you planning an event, meeting, or conference? If so, you'll want to call the designers and production professionals at Extravaganza Productions Incorporated. With over 35 years of experience in the events industry, designing and producing every type of small to large event, they can provide a huge resource for design ideas, audio, visual, sound, lighting, decor, and entertainment to turn your event into an incredible experience for the entire audience. Folks, I've worked up close and personal with this group at many national events and Tampa events, and they have unique capabilities that help you save time and money in the planning and execution of your next event. Don't delay. Call these pros today at 813-621-4700 or check out their website at extravaganzaproductions.com. Tell them JP sent you, and they'll provide a free initial consultation for your event. Extravaganza Productions, the best of the business. Golfers, listen up. The hottest new driving range craze has come to Rogers Park in Tampa. The Top Tracer range is now open 10 to 9 p.m. And just like you see on TV, every shot is tracked for yardage and accuracy, giving you immediate feedback. And best of all, you can virtually play the top courses like Pebble Beach or St. Andrews with your buddies. Plus, great food and drink options available in the well-appointed hitting bays. Very comfortable out there. Reservations highly recommended, starting at $25 per hour, including balls. Reserve at RogersParkGolf.net. That's RogersParkGolf.net. See you there.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, well, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, our college segment here. It is hump day. I forgot about that. Hump day.
Right. I got you, buddy. I got you. I'm on this today.
And creamsicle day.
It is. We didn't wear a creamsicle because you know why?
Because we lose.
Because we lose.
Yeah, there's
I do have the Bucs old the sound. This right here. I have this. Remember this?
Oh, nice. Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, I got that. So
all right.
We got you covered there. What do you have in there? Ashley was in the background. I heard it. Was she still?
She makes me like this in the morning. She makes me this incredible iced coffee drink that she makes the creamer herself, homemade creamer. There's some peptides that she puts in it. Also, some other wonderful nutrients. But makes the cold coffee ahead of time, then adds the creamer in there. Absolutely fantastic. Just while I'm in bed, brings it to me before I get up, plops it on the end table. Who's getting that kind of service? Come on.
Not me, buddy. I'm not. I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't get coffee this morning. I got nothing this morning.
Yeah,
I forgot all about it. I took Al out and
that ain't all.
Then
just leave it there.
Hey man, you said it. I didn't. I didn't open that up. But
I am the happiest man in the world. I can tell you that.
Buddy.
I can tell you that, man.
You deserve it. You definitely deserve it. So
I don't know about that, but I'm happy.
Yeah, no, you deserve it, my friend. I'm not just saying this because I'm his producer and co-host. This man deserves it because he's been through a tough divorce here the last 5 years. I know. I remember.
It started 14 years ago, but it still lingers.
Still lingers. So you deserve it. You know,
the attorneys have made more money in their lives. It's unbelievable. All that money that could have gone to my kids. To attorneys.
Well, there you go.
Whatever. It took a while to find the right one, but I found the right one. She's amazing.
Good.
So I'm watching the Peter Report stuff online. It's like some sloppy moments from the 11-on-11 with drops by Trey Palmer and Ko Keefe. I'm telling you, Ko Keefe ain't making this team.
No, it doesn't seem like it. No.
Yeah, but this is good. This is Camp Kumbaya. It's gone on long enough. We need some ass kicking going on here. This is good. You need them to get some feedback and to feel a little bit more sense of urgency to get better, push you a little bit more. My guess is, this is a team that the Bucs kicked their ass on Christmas Eve. Let's not forget that. These Jags. We're talking about the Jags practices over in Jacksonville today, by the way. So yeah, this is a succinct reminder that everything's been going well. You can never tell when you're playing against your own when you're playing with yourself, you just never know. and you don't. You got to get some feedback. You got to get out there in the mix with another team, and they're getting a little bit of a wake up call today, and that's good. Yeah, I like it.
I
know
the
NFL, man. Every game, we could sit here and be, and I'm positive just based on my objective reasoning. But listen, could the Bucs lose 12 games this year? Absolutely, they could. They get a few key injuries. Yes, any team can go that way. But the starters and what I see, they've addressed all their deficiencies on a team that was 9-8 last year. I get it. They won a playoff game. They're better. They're better than average team to begin with, and I think they got a lot better over the offseason. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes.
I got to read this because this is from Sportico. This is about the deal with the Glazers selling and the value of the Bucs. The Bucs are at $5.5 billion, ranked 16th overall, and it's NFL team valuations. Also, with that being said, they say that Jeff Bezos and Ken Griffin, who are worth $190 billion and $42 billion, according to Bloomberg, there's other new Sunshine State residents. Now, I want you to think about this for a minute when it comes to the Bucs and also the Rays and who would possibly buy the Rays with that report about a month ago. New Sunshine State residents, regular 10-digit billionaires, venture capitalist Peter Thiel, hedge funder, which, by the way, Stu was what? Was a hedge a guy.
Hedge fund guy, yeah. Goldman Sachs.
Daniel Ock, and investor Carl Eachen. Out of those right there, who do you think would be who would buy the Bucs or the Rays if you want to put it out there?
Well, why is it just those guys?
Well, these are the guys they mentioned in this article. I mean, if you really want to play games here, what about Tom Brady? What if Tom Brady wanted to buy a piece of this? Because we know that
he's already got a piece of the Raiders.
But okay, so I don't know. I'm thinking here. Out of these names, Jeff Bezos, we've heard about him. Would he be a guy that would try to get an NFL team? The other guy,
I think he's trying to get one. If I'm not mistaken, he tried to buy the Commandos. Did he not? The Commodes?
Yeah,
I think he did.
Yeah.
When was it Josh Harris got it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think any one of them, but it's got to be for sale. And I think I know the Rays are. I think the Rays are still for sale. I think they're still for sale.
Right.
So any of those guys, I think, yeah. I know the Glazers don't want to sell.
Right.
They've just given up their managing interest in Manchester United, which was giving them more headaches than they ever thought they would ever have. So I think it's a smart. So now I think their full focus is on the Buccaneers. I don't think they want to sell the Bucs.
Right.
And these valuations, by the way, folks, usually turn out to be at least 25% under what they sell for. I can't ever remember a team going for what Forbes said it was worth. It's usually 25 to 30, sometimes 40% more. So they take and they tell you this when they do the valuations. They don't know for sure. They're just using a bunch of different metrics to put, revenues and what have you, and put a price on it. So it's not a rock solid number. Does it shock me if somebody offered the Bucs $6 billion for the Bucs? No, not at all. I think that's about what it would go for. And do I think the Lightning are worth $2 billion? Absolutely. I think absolutely. And I'm not sure how much real estate's in that deal, but I think they absolutely would. And earlier, someone asked about the $2 million. I thought they were talking about the valuation of the Lightning. They said they were talking about 2 million fans in the new stadium. No, I don't see that. That might happen in the first year, maybe second year for the Rays, but long term, no, not in that location. No way.
Wow.
And I think that's proven.
Yeah. But those are the guys they mentioned, and I was thinking
this is probably true. Bezos won't buy a red state team. I wonder, is there any tax advantage if you live in Florida in buying a team? I wonder if there's some tax advantage if you're a Florida resident to buy.
I would think it would, and that's who they mentioned. They mentioned these billionaires that are living in the Sunshine State right now. I mean, it could be somebody else, but those are the guys. Those are the top guys, not only that are billionaires, but also living in the state of Florida. So it makes the deal even easier if you can get that done.
Speaking of creamsicle day,
yeah,
John Hill brings this up. The Bucs have scheduled the creamsicle jersey for home game against the Falcons, a game that we must win.
Yes. Yeah.
Listen, the Bucs are a very smart organization. That's a dumb move. That's a dumb move. Should have been the first game against the Commandos. That's your best chance to win. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it until we prove we can freaking win in creamsicle.
I know. You said it last year. You said it when we were on the field after that game against the Lions, which, by the way, you mentioned it. Jamar Gibbs with a hamstring injury could lead to a torn ACL because he has some injuries before in the past. So big loss for them. But you're exactly right. You lose to the Lions, and you haven't been able to win since when? When have you been able to win in the creamsicle? You have to go all the way back to Green Bay, I believe, and Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
So, and Josh Freeman, by the way.
Doesn't work for me. Work for me.
No.
All right. We got Bob Melandro coming on. Let's take a quick break. We'll get to the Feinbaum stuff after that. Sorry, we keep talk. Things come up. I get comments. We get sidetracked. I apologize.
Yeah.
So, all right, quick break. When we come back, Bob Melandro from Whitecap Sports, who brokers sports franchises, will join us to shed some light on what's going on with the Lightning and the Rays, and now maybe even the Bucs. A lot of news out there vis-a-vis sales of franchises. We're brought to you by Extravaganza Productions. Great folks over there, Dolly Brown and Paul Thomason. If you have a big event coming up, a charity event, you have a big birthday, a big graduation, or somewhere you want to throw a party, and you need a little help from the professionals, audio, visual, themes, Extravaganza Productions, what it's all about. They got a great creative team over there and a huge warehouse of props that you can use. Have some fun. Just go tour the warehouse and see what they can do. It's a free creative meeting from Extravaganza Productions. So if you've been doing a charity event for a while, you want to spice it up, go meet with them. Tell them JP sent you. Extravaganzaproductions.com. Back with Bob Melandro, Whitecap Sports, to talk Lightning sale when we come back. Discover a world of elegance and sophistication at the Gold and Diamond Source. Whether you're searching for your first piece or celebrating a special milestone, their expert team is here to guide you every step of the way. Navigating the world of fine jewelry can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Their knowledgeable staff is dedicated to helping you choose the perfect piece, ensuring you feel confident and informed. At the Gold and Diamond Source, they pride themselves on offering only the highest quality jewelry. From stunning engagement rings to timeless watches, each piece is crafted with precision and care. So take advantage of their 5 years interest-free financing. This means you can get a $5,000 piece and only pay $83 a month. And if you're new to buying diamonds, their first-time buyer program will educate you on the 4 C's: cut, color, clarity, and carat, and help you understand the different shapes and sizes available. Go enjoy the great staff at the Gold and Diamond Source. You'll be family forever. It's the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Hey Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the US Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Gettys Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Gettys Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units, and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez in Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. As we head into summer and hurricane season, you must make sure that your home is fully insured. Over 40% of people in Florida are not fully insured because property rates have gone up lately. Your home is worth more, so it needs to be insured. Call the great folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799 to make sure you're fully insured. And also, you might just save some money. There are new companies coming into the state all the time. In fact, we just shopped our homeowners insurance, and I'm telling you, folks, we saved over $550 because Charity, the great customer service at Italiano Insurance, did all the work and found us a better company and a cheaper company. She'll do the same for you. 813-877-7799. Do something about these high rates. Shop them around. Could save you lots of money. It's Italiano Insurance. Been doing business here locally for over 60 years. 813-877-7799. Tell them JP sent you.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Here's we roll on a programming with Peter Blake from the Sports Web. Our good friend Rick Ballou, Jacksonville Jags sideline reporter, is going to join us at 11:35 from the practice. So we'll get his view on what happened today. So we'll do that in just a little bit. But first, let's welcome in our good friend from Whitecap Sports, Bob Alondro, the CEO there. They broker sports franchises. There's this beautiful office there in downtown Tampa. How are you, partner? Can you hear me? You can't hear me. Can't hear me? Can't hear me? Let's bring him out and then bring him back in.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Stand by. Hey, Peter, while I'm going to text him.
Okay.
While I'm doing that, why don't you read a little bit more from that article on Sportico on who was the possible purchase of the Bucs?
Yeah. It looks like again, it talks about Josh Harris again, a tick under or a tick over $6 million, and like I said, it was a qualified buyer deemed NFL parlance, i.e., they could write the check. But it wasn't. Nobody was able to identify the potential buyer. Of course, the Bucs did not return any requests for comment, so they were.
Ken Griffin was in there as well from from the movie, the Roy and Kitty movie. What the hell's the name of that movie? With the stock. Oh, my brain farting here. Yeah, Ken Griffin from that movie. One of those guys.
Wall Street. No.
Oh God.
I don't know. I don't know which one, which movie.
The GameStop stock. He's the one that they shorted it out, and they were going to get crushed by the investors, the local investors, and then they rigged it. They got all their money back. Let's try again. Bob Melandro, are you there?
I can't hear you.
We can hear you. Dad,
we can hear, buddy.
Okay.
All right, we'll let him. I texted him to jump out and jump back in. So once he does that, we'll hopefully get him right. So we'll hear from Rick Ballou here in just a little bit. And he's watching the Jags and Bucs go at it, and it has not been a good day for the Bucs, according to the kids at the Pewter Report. So, yeah,
Lord is carving him up.
Jeff Bezos would have bought the Bucs.
Wow.
Blah. Oh my God. No.
No?
No.
What if he bought the race?
I mean, better than Stu.
Right.
So that sounds good to me. It wouldn't have. Listen, Amazon is buying the streaming rights of all these regional sports networks, so that would make sense. There would be some connection there. All right, let's see if Bob's can hear us. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
You found
I take no responsibility. I take no responsibility for that. I had all my stuff locked in good. I don't know. Actually, I lied. I do take responsibility.
We all do it, brother. That's the way we are. How you doing, man?
Real good. Thanks.
Good. So this kind of came out of left field yesterday with this Lightning purchase. And I'm not sure, we talked a little bit about this last night, but there's a lot more to be understood about it, right? But what we know now is Doug Osterver from Blue Owl Capital, who's worth, I guess, $2.8 billion. That's his, according to Forbes, is buying a chunk of this team. We don't know how big, but at least for Lightning fans, as I explained it early on, there's not going to be any change for day-to-day operations in the foreseeable future. And that's the most important part of this headline, correct?
Yeah, I would say, and then, to take it one step further, if it was a truly passive minority stake, there wouldn't need to be any publicity around it or any announcements or validation around what it is or what it isn't, because those small stakes get done all the time. I mean, a lot of people don't know that Arctos, which is a private equity fund, bought a piece of the Lightning a couple of years ago, a fairly significant piece, and that didn't get much publicity, to the public because it was not impactful. It had nothing to do with the day-to-day operation. And so for it to come out like this and then to kind of get some legs, I would suspect, it will end up being a very significant issue in time. So there's most likely, if not a control stake today, but likely a path to control and some sort of structure to it that enables a transition, a substantial amount in due time.
Now, a lot of people have speculated that perhaps he was gaining some cash to buy the Rays. I shot that down. I think most people have. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, I don't see the logic in that, quite honestly. I think if you're going to own a major league sports team in Tampa, I think the Lightning or the Buccaneers would be the way to go. And Jeff obviously has done a lot for the city of Tampa and is beloved for all his work here. To exit what he's doing downtown with the Lightning and around Water Street to go out to St. Pete or try to get involved in that stadium situation doesn't make much sense to me.
Well, what would be the challenge in buying the Rays? Is it that stadium situation and the location? You hear that it's so tough these days to buy a Major League Baseball team. Why is it so tough, and why are the Rays so tough to buy at this point, in your opinion?
Well, I think it's just the fluidity of it. If you'd asked that question a year ago, it would be impossible to even put a valuation on the team because you don't know the stadium situation. Are you buying a team with an old stadium that's going to ultimately move? Are you buying a team that's going to have a new, contemporary stadium in the same market? So without the answers to those questions, you don't really know what the value of the business is. Now, fast forward to 2024, there's a little more certainty from the standpoint of, there's definitely support, in publicly to get that done as part of the larger development. So, I don't think it's necessarily harder to buy right now. It's probably easier to buy right now, but there is still some fluidity in the sense that, nothing's done. This is all just conjecture and we're at stages of voting and local approvals, but, there's no shovels in the ground and a lot can change.
Yeah, a lot can change, including the ownership of the team. So,
correct.
Is there any there's an article out by Sportico. I don't know if you've seen this one, that the Bucs turned down an offer for $6.05 billion to buy their team, and they wouldn't. And they said whoever it was could just write a check. So that limits the pool, right?
Quite a bit.
People. You're in this business. Any thoughts on who that might have been? Anybody sniffing around to buy the Bucs?
There's always NFL is always the gold standard if you want to own a professional sports team in the United States or maybe even in the world. I mean, the NFL is the hardest to get into. So, there's no shortage of people, if they have the means, they would be looking at NFL as the peak of sports ownership. So the fact that the Bucs are getting inquiries, it's no different than any other team. I think most NFL teams have people kind of buzzing around from time to time, floating offers, kind of seeing if there's any amenability to a conversation.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't sell. If it was Jeff Bezos, I'm glad they didn't sell. I think the Glazers have been exemplary owners. They bought Man United. There was some lean times there, obviously, but since that time, I think they've done a great job, and I'm glad they're staying on as the owners of the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
So when you look at this Lightning sale, and I don't know much about Doug Ostober of Blue Owl Capital, can you tell us anything about him? Do you know him at all?
We've interacted over the years, floated opportunities his way, not to any great success, but he's a typical financial guy who's had a few exits in the industry that's kind of stepped him up each time to where he is now, which is billionaire status. I think the last merger they had was with Dial Capital, which is kind of interesting because Dial is one of those has one of those sports ownership funds.
Oh, they do.
That has made investments. Now, this, to me, the Lightning is, I'm sure, most likely a personal endeavor on his part. Probably has nothing to do with the company or the fund. But I think it's kind of an interesting aside that there is some connectivity to Dial, and probably, that probably buoyed, his interest in getting involved in sports ownership.
Interesting. Do you think there would be no reason to move this team, right? I know he's from Connecticut, and Hartford is still longing for the Whalers that they lost, but moving this team would be financial suicide, would it not?
Correct. I can't even imagine. Nor would the league allow that. The league has put a lot into their, a lot into their Sun Belt expansion,
Yes.
back in the day, and there's very few teams. Well, there's a couple of teams that are the benchmarks for that. The Lightning's one of them. Dallas obviously has had some success, not so much for the Coyotes, but they're not going to take a team out of a market like Tampa and just let somebody just move them, and the owner couldn't move them without league approval.
And you were telling me the valuations of NHL teams are going through the roof right now?
They are, and surprisingly so. I mean, there's some reasons for that. Obviously under their media right deal that just went into effect about a year or two ago is already undervalued. The NHL's had tremendous engagement and viewership this year, gained in popularity, which is kind of odd to say for a league that's been around for as long as they have.
Yeah,
They've kind of gotten a second or third or fourth wind in the last year or so. But to the point around valuations, we have clients that are looking for NHL opportunities, investment opportunities, pretty frequently. So we are always poking around, and we have relationships with a number of NHL clubs, not just at the main control ownership level, but also people that own minority stakes in these teams. And what we've seen over the last couple of months is that the asking price on these teams and even minority stakes is significantly higher than even where it was a year ago. So we have one team that we're looking at. I obviously can't say the name, but they're kind of a similar size market to Tampa. And ironically or not, they were asking for an approximate $2 billion valuation on their club just a couple of weeks ago. And for those people that kind of look at reference points, like where does Forbes think these teams are worth? Forbes has these teams like worth 60% of that number. But that's not necessarily the end all be all, because at the end of the day, it's worth what somebody's willing to pay. And every time there's a transaction, the bar goes a little bit higher. And you see that across all sports, not just the NHL.
And our friend James here had a great question. If these tab values are jumping, that means the salary cap should be jumping commensurately in the next couple of years, which would be good for the Lightning.
Yeah, not necessarily correlated. The salary cap's more correlated to the revenues that the team brings in, on an annual basis, not as much what the team is worth. So that's, if they continue on the trajectory they are on and they re-up, when the next media rights deal comes around, that'll step up their revenue significantly, and that certainly would have an impact on the salary cap.
And lastly, Bob, what do you think the motivation was for Vinik to sell at this particular point?
Yeah, I can't really I can't say for sure. We could speculate on what the logical things might be. The guy's got a lot on his plate, right? So you have the confluence of a couple of things. One, his values are going through the roof, and it's at a certain point in time. What did he buy the team at, like 170 million back in 2010, I think. At a certain point in time, Jeff's a financial guy. He's every guy who's in that industry always has one eye on an exit. It doesn't have to be right away, but at a certain point in time, an exit might make sense economically. And he's just doing a lot of things, right? Look at how immersed he's in the development of Water Street, and I'm not saying the Lightning are less important to him, but it just might just make sense for him at this time. Not every owner just hangs on in perpetuity.
Yeah,
and he could have gotten an offer he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, that's right. Sell high, buy low. All right, Bob, great stuff as always. Promote whatever you would like to promote, what you guys are doing at Whitecap Sports there.
Yeah, well, we're obviously a sports merger and acquisition firm. We buy and sell pro sports teams for our clients. So if you have anybody out there that wants to do like Ostraver and acquire a major or minor league sports team, we would be one of the people to give a call.
The movers and shakers are watching the show. You know that, partner. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
We'll catch up soon. Thanks. Interesting stuff right there. All right, we got to take a quick break. Rick Ballou is standing by in Jacksonville watching the Bucs and the Jags practice. Their sideline guy. Quick break. We'll be back and go live to Jacksonville right after this. Stay with us. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent-rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. If you're feeling run down, your workout sucks, or your sexual libido is not what it used to be, check out Bay Area Modern Medical Center. That happened to me a few years ago, and I found out I had the testosterone level of a second-grade girl. That's not good. Our food, environment, and stress can cause your T levels to drop. Bay Area Modern Medical Center can help, and they are different. They offer customized hormone replacement for both men and women. Christopher Lugo and his medical staff can help you restore your energy, your sex drive, and your feelings of well-being. It was a total game changer for me. I have way more energy, lost 30 pounds, and I'm performing better in all areas of my life. Nobody wants to talk about sexual health, but it's key to a balanced life. We offer discreet treatments with real-world results. So if you're suffering from a lack of interest in sex, ED, or lack of sexual stamina, Dr. Lugo and his staff can help. Take your health care to the next level at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. JP here to ask the
All right, so welcome back to the JP Peterson Show as we have Mr. Rick Ballou.
All right.
And you can hear it in the background. He's live from Jacksonville Jaguars joint practice with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What's up, Rick? How you doing, partner?
Doing well, JP. It's it's crazy out here trying to watch 180 guys at once. So that's always difficult. But yeah, with two fields here, they're working next to one another right now. It's red zone, Jaguars red zone offense against the Buccaneers red zone defense. We've just begun period number 10. They're going to practice for probably another 30 minutes. They started today at 9:30 in the morning.
Nice. So give us some of the highlights. What have you seen today? We're hearing reports that the Jags are torching the Bucs defense. Trevor Lawrence.
It's been a good day offensively for the Jaguars. It really has. Trevor Lawrence has thrown a couple of touchdown passes, including one to first-round draft pick Brian Thomas Jr. Not too long ago. I think it's been pretty physical so far in the ditch on both sides. There hasn't been any skirmishes, at least that I have seen. And one-on-one drills, I will say this: Vita Vea is unblockable. He is an absolute beast. Mitch Morse, they brought him in from Buffalo. He's a 10-year veteran. He was with Doug Peterson in Kansas City when Peterson was the offensive coordinator there under Andy Reid, and he is just phenomenal. But outside of that, I thought the Jaguars tackles did a pretty decent job protecting against the pass rushers from Tampa Bay.
What about the red zone? There were some comments that Lawrence found Parker a couple times for touchdowns. What did you see there?
Yeah, Parker Washington is a second-year wide receiver. He had a drop not too long ago. I think it's the first one he's had in 16 days of training camp. He has performed really well. And, Trevor has done a nice job really spreading the football around, getting everyone involved. There was a nice play a moment ago on a ball that was thrown from Trevor to Evan Ingram. Looked like Ingram was ready to haul it in. Then Zion McCollum came in and batted it out. So a nice defensive play there by the Tampa Bay, defensive back.
So in general, you think the Jags are winning the day today? I know it's just practice, but we're sports radio guys, right? We got to talk about something.
JP, I got to be honest, for the most part, my attention, because as far as I'm concerned, the biggest question mark for the Jaguars is that offensive line. And they walked it back. 4/5 of it, they brought back outside of Mitch Morse. Most of my attention has been on the Jaguars' first-team offense against the Bucs' first-team defense. I haven't really had an opportunity to key in on the other side with Baker and company. I did catch a glimpse of a very nice play by Tyson Campbell, who just re-signed a contract extension a few weeks ago, knocked the ball out of Mike Evans's hands. Also noticed that Josh Hines Allen had a nice rep against Tristan Wirfs. But for the most part, that side of the football, I haven't really seen much on the other field. I've been really focusing on again, this side, Tampa defensively and the Jags offensively.
Going back to it, Rick, what's the attitude there with Lawrence's extension? Do you sense the fan base is excited about it? Is the pressure on Lawrence? And what was your opinion of that extension by the organization?
Yeah, I was really in the minority here, JP. I wouldn't have paid him. I think he's untested. He's 20-30, and the Urban year has been given to him as a mulligan. But still, you're talking about 3 years of his career, and he's led the NFL with 60 turnovers in the last 3 seasons. I think he's a good quarterback. I understand their thinking. They wanted to get the stadium set for life, and that's going to happen here now in Jacksonville, and he is the face of the franchise. But he had 5 different injuries a year ago, and I would love to sit here and say, yeah, it's the right move. He's going to be the face of this franchise for 12 to 15 years. I don't know. I would have waited. I don't know what it's like, though, to have that money hanging over your head and a distraction. He's handled it the right way, and he has had a really good training camp. So they made the decision to go along with it. They've also re-signed Hines Allen and Tyson Campbell, and they believe that it's been a long time. You look at that last draft class, guys like Leonard Fournette and Jalen Ramsey and Unique Ngakwe. I mean, they couldn't get along with the former regime. They were all moved out of here. So re-signing your own draft picks is something that's really new for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's what they've been doing here the last couple of years.
How excited are they about Thomas from LSU? And it certainly seems like, they ran a lot of 2 wide receiver sets there with Thomas and Gabe Davis. Is Christian Kirk, with his injury history, possibly the odd man out, in your opinion?
No, I don't think so. He's not working today. Christian will work in the slot. They're going to go trips just about, every single offensive alignment. Thomas just had one thrown right behind him, couldn't get his hand in hauling a pass from Trevor Lawrence. But, Brian Thomas started slow. His first opportunity here was on day 1, and he dropped a touchdown pass in the end zone. And it wasn't a great start for the rookie, but he's really come along. Maybe his best day was yesterday. He did catch a long bomb today from Trevor Lawrence. And, this guy averaged 17.3 yards of reception at LSU. He's got the ability to stretch defenses. Gabe Davis has been solid. The guy's never caught more than 48 balls in a year. So I still think Christian Kirk is going to get plenty of opportunities in the slot. This passing offense should be okay. The big question with the offensive line is will they be able to run the football? And if not, that puts that much more pressure on Trevor Lawrence.
Rick Ballou joining us from Jaguars practice. You told me you also saw Florida State practice the last couple of days. Your impression of their receivers who are getting a lot of publicity, so to speak.
That's a problem. It is. I mean, that is by far their biggest problem. This football team is so good in the ditch. It's the best offensive line I've seen in Tallahassee since they won a national title. Their defensive line could be better than a year ago, and that's with Burst and Fisk going in the league. They got NFL corners all over the place. They are missing out a little bit, losing Deloach and Bethune in the middle at linebacker, and they got 5 backs who can run. I think they can play old school football, run and stop the run. The problem with Florida State is if they're down a possession or two, they do not have a proven wide receiver. Some will say Ja'Kai Douglas. He was certainly instrumental in that victory against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But they just don't have guys. I mean, Portier drops balls. Williamson drops balls. It's frustrating. And when you have a quarterback like DJ Uiagalelei who completes 57% of his passes, that's not a great recipe right now for Florida State. They have to become a better passing team. And I tell you what they have to do. They're going to run Roydell Williams. He's going to be the bell cow. You got to take a guy like Lawrence Toafili and put him in the slot.
Put him in the slot, yeah.
Ball players on the field, get him the ball, get Jalen Lucas the ball. Don't give me this fifth-year senior crap and run out Portier and Williamson. They're inconsistent. They drop more balls than they catch. You've got to play the guys who make plays, and I think that's going to be the biggest question for Mike Norvell.
Rick, what was your opinion on Paul Feinbaum's comments yesterday about finishing out of the top 10 at this point?
I loved it. You know, all this positive stuff makes me kind of sour. I love when someone will ruffle feathers.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Feinbaum has an agenda. Paul Feinbaum hasn't thought the same about Florida State since FSU came from behind and beat Auburn in the Rose Bowl 11 years ago. So Feinbaum is going to do what Feinbaum does. Frankly, I think it's great. What a great opportunity to plant a story like this. I know kids don't read anymore. You don't print anymore, but maybe find a way to put that on the top of each and every one of their phones. So when they open it up, they get Paul Feinbaum says they're not going to be ranked. They're not going to a playoff.
Yes.
Who cares what he says? If there's one thing I know, they have turned the page on crying about not getting into the playoff. Fans still have fun with it. The media still brings it up. I think this football team has let that go. So if Feinbaum wants to reinforce that, I actually enjoyed the story yesterday.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, Rick, thanks for checking in. I know you got a lot to do. I really appreciate you taking time for us and giving us a live report. Thank you, buddy.
See you guys. Thank you.
Yep.
You can follow Rick. Great follow at Ballou1010XL. That's BALLOU 1010XL. And check out his show. Talks a lot of Florida State football. He has it as a podcast as well. Great podcaster. Longtime buddy of mine. We used to bartend together back in our Tallahassee days.
Huh.
The Great Doc Sports Bar. Yeah, baby.
Imagine that. You bartending with somebody else
at a sports bar and becoming sports talk host guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good. That's what you do, right? If you can't talk sports, you go and do bartending. All right. We got to hear this Paul Feinbaum.
Yeah, let's play. He's absolutely right. It's fantastic.
Yes. Here we go.
Top 10 team will finish the season unranked.
Florida State. First of all, they have no business being in the top 10. They have a difficult schedule. They have Florida State has Miami and Notre Dame within a 3-week period on the road. They end the season with Florida, which is a debatable team. But I think they're going to get caught in the run-of-the-mill ACC game this year, which they did not encounter last year. They lost the guts of their defense. They have a quarterback who has certainly been around and remains a question mark. And I think they also have a hangover. I think they used up too many tears crying about not getting in the playoffs, and that may slow them down a little bit this year.
Oh, so there you go. Little shot there. It wasn't good enough to say they lost, because you had me there where, you lost Verse, of course. You lost Fisk there in the middle, of course. Deloach.
But you put Darrell Jackson in there, who everybody agrees is their best defensive tackle that the NCAA unmercifully made ineligible last year. screw jobs ever. And you've got Josh Farmer and a couple of guys behind them that are big and nasty. And you got Marvin Jones Jr. coming off one edge, Patrick Payton coming off the other. Rick's right. I think they have a better overall defensive line. Linebackers are talented but untested. And the defensive backs are just, it's an NFL shell from safety to corner. But they got, and this Jalen Lucas kid is, he's Bucky Irving. He's small, but just so elusive and explosive. And I could see them putting him and Teofilo both in the slots and going 4 wide, spreading it out for their running backs. They got a lot of talented running backs as well. It's as James says, I trust Norvell. He's not going to let the wide receivers ruin their season. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. Norvell's an absolute genius at scheming offensively, using his backs well. So I anticipate that will work out just fine.
Yeah.
But, give me, I'll win with defense in a running game all day long. It's a great recipe in college football. It's so many teams are wide open. If you got a good defense, especially a good pass defense, so nobody's going to run it up on you, you're going to play close games, and you want to bludgeon them with your run game and stop the run and play good defense, we're good to go. It's a great way to win football games, and we'll see. This is what. Listen, I think FSU could go 12-0 again, 13-0, or they could lose 3 games. I could see them losing 3 games as well. But we'll see. That's what the game's all about. Yeah.
Miami, Notre Dame, is that your concerning ones? Like he said, I mean, Miami, they haven't been good under Cristobal. I get it. They have a quarterback in Cam Ward, but it isn't necessarily.
They're under 500. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And FSU wanted Cam Ward. And then Cam said he's going to the league, and then he learned that he probably wouldn't be drafted till about the 5th round. So he said, I'll come back for $1 million and play for Miami. Smart. They've got, good offensive line. They got weapons, but you got to put it all together, man. At some point, the offseason hype has to meet the actual wins on the field. And that hasn't been the case for Miami for a long, long time. Sorry, my man, Matt O'Neill, my big Cans fan, brother. It is what it is. That's why we play the games, though.
Yeah.
Why we play the games.
Yeah.
All right. We got to hit one more. Do we have to hit one more break? I think we did.
Yeah. We'll hit one more break. Absolutely.
One more break, and then we'll come back and finish things up. We got a couple other notes here on Hunter Green of the Cincinnati Reds. He's a great pitcher, but boy, we got a story on him.
Uh-oh.
The Las Vegas cops in the NFL are not getting along. Got one on that. And, they have a USF note here that's quite interesting as well. So all that when we come back. We're brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. It's their 40th anniversary. Great specials going on there. And dudes, you guys, go to the jewelry store. Bling yourself up. Get a nice watch. You deserve it, bro. Buy yourself a nice stylish ring, or maybe a bracelet or a nice necklace like my cross necklace here. So many good things you can get at the Gold and Diamond Source. See the Rolex reporter there? Get yourself a Rolex. If you can't get Jake Paul to give one to you, go buy one for yourself. You deserve it. Make all that money. Go treat yourself at the Golden Diamond Source for dudes as well. 3800 Olmerton Road. Back in 3. As we head into summer and hurricane season, you must make sure that your home is fully insured. Over 40% of people in Florida are not fully insured because property rates have gone up lately. Your home is worth more, so it needs to be insured. Call the great folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799 to make sure you're fully insured. And also, you might just save some money. There are new companies coming into the state all the time. In fact, we just shopped our homeowners insurance, and I'm telling you, folks, we saved over $550 because Charity, the great customer service at Italiano Insurance, did all the work and found us a better company and a cheaper company. She'll do the same for you. 813-877-7799. Do something about these high rates. Shop them around. Could save you lots of money. It's Italiano Insurance. Been doing business here locally for over 60 years. 813-877-7799. Tell them JP sent you. Discover the collection of men's jewelry that combines classic style with contemporary flair at the Gold and Diamond Source. From sophisticated watches to bold rings, find pieces that reflect your personality and stand the test of time. Each piece in their men's collection is crafted with precision and attention to detail, ensuring quality and durability. Whether it's a sleek bracelet or a striking pendant, our jewelry makes a statement. From everyday wear to special occasions, our men's jewelry is designed to complement any outfit and add a touch of sophistication. Shop versatile pieces that transition seamlessly from casual to formal. Browse our extensive range of men's jewelry, including rings, bracelets, necklaces, and cufflinks. Whether you prefer understated elegance or bold designs, they have something for every taste. Visit their knowledgeable staff to help you find that perfect piece. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Hey Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the US Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. If you're feeling run down, your workout sucks, or your sexual libido is not what it used to be, check out Bay Area Modern Medical Center. That happened to me a few years ago, and I found out I had the testosterone level of a second-grade girl. That's not good. Our food, environment, and stress can cause your T levels to drop. Bay Area Modern Medical Center can help, and they are different. They offer customized hormone replacement for both men and women. Christopher Lugo and his medical staff can help you restore your energy, your sex drive, and your feelings of well-being. It was a total game changer for me. I have way more energy, lost 30 pounds, and I'm performing better in all areas of my life. Nobody wants to talk about sexual health, but it's key to a balanced life. We offer discreet treatments with real-world results. So if you're suffering from a lack of interest in sex, ED, or lack of sexual stamina, Dr. Lugo and his staff can help. Take your health care to the next level at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we have just a couple more minutes to get with you here on some other notes. Yes, thank you, Peter Blake.
Yes,
Sports
absolutely.
Web.
Yes.
Are you doing another show tonight?
Absolutely. 9:00, we'll have the legend himself, Leo Haggerty. We'll have Stan, author of I Love St. Pete, talking about what he thought about the Rays Stadium situation, what he thinks about the Bucs this year. By the way, guys, 193,000 following on I Love St. Pete on Facebook. And, of course, we'll be talking wrestling later with Turnbuckle Talk at 10:30.
All right, there you go.
Plenty of stuff to talk about. By the way, happy birthday to Hulk Hogan this week. Did you know that?
Hulkamania.
Yes.
I love it. All right, Hulkamania. Love it.
Right.
So I was watching this. Did you see Hunter Green? He's a Cy Young Award candidate for the Reds.
I didn't see it. No.
Actually, don't listen to this. He this is like the fourth time on the mound he pukes in his glove.
Ugh.
He's just like he's just dealing out there. And all of a sudden, I don't know if it's the heat or he gets nervous or what. He just like little right in his glove, through the glove, and then gets right back on the mound. What?
What are you doing? I mean, I remember eating food like Wade Boggs eating fried chicken before every game, something along those lines. I remember thinking about wrestling. Darren Drozdoff, who used to be a football player, his gimmick was puke, and then of course he would puke any time, and then of course he got hurt and he became a paraplegic at that point. But he used to have the same type of gimmick where he could just puke. How do you do that?
Demand?
Yeah, like you could just puke on demand. Yeah, like that was his gimmick. Like, how do you do that?
Who was it? It was an NFL. Was it one of the Bucs players that got so nervous before games he would like puke in the trash can before the games? First of all, by the way, it's like when he comes off the mound, that sounds like a foreign substance if it's in your glove.
Right.
Like,
can you
catch
use
the
that?
ball?
Can
Like,
I
what
do
do we do?
anything with the baseball
I
at
mean,
all?
we've heard of spitballs. I mean, Jesus, Pete.
A puke ball.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. You can't seriously. Like, you can't do that. That's yeah. So do you see that USF is now offering a Taylor Swift course?
Oh, really?
Where they break down all the lyrics of her songs, her global impact, a course on Taylor Swift.
So basically, we're going to have a bunch of vengeful women at this point. Is that what you're saying? Is that what we're setting up at this juncture?
One of your electives.
What songs does she have that's any different from anything else? I mean, it's all about the same damn thing. I'm sorry, Taylor Swift fans. It's all about the thing. And I know it's not for you, Peter. It's not. No, it obviously isn't, because it's all about heartbreak all the time. When is there happy songs there? Shake it off. That's
a good one. That's a good one.
But that's also
I've enjoyed some, going to the concerts with my lovely daughter Shay. It's been one of our joys of her childhood.
Right.
But now if you go at USF, you can take a course on Taylor Swift.
Yeah. What's the
curriculum? All the football players will be jumping in that one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the NFL is having a problem with the Las Vegas Police Department because evidently to work security for the NFL, you have to give them all your biometrics. All your facial recognition, all your personal information in order to work for the NFL. And they're like, well, wait a minute. All this information can be given to access to groups that maybe aren't police friendly. So they're having issues with whether they're going to be able to get security, policemen anyway, to work these NFL games because the NFL wants all their biometrics information. Would you be giving that up? I think we pretty much do it anyway when we, do our face thing for our phone. Sure. Apple's got it, but we're not cops, and cops can be unfairly targeted as we've seen in these ambushes. So I understand their concern. No question about that.
Yeah.
That works out. I wonder if they're going to do that I wonder if they're going to ask that for the media. Probably will. In order to cover the NFL, you got to give them all your biometrics. Rick says, JP, you have your testosterone levels risen more than a 12-year-old girl. Maybe you can box in the Olympics as a female. I never thought about that. Did you see the boxer, the Algerian boxer suing Elon Musk?
Oh, yeah.
And somebody else for mean tweets?
Mean tweets. There we are. There we go.
And the British authorities are now putting people in jail for their mean tweets. Or even if you show an actual immigrant doing something horrible, like beating somebody up, they'll put you in jail.
Wow.
Because you put it on Twitter. If you had video of an immigrant beating somebody up, which has happened, if you share that now, and they're saying that they're going to extradite Elon Musk and have him face charges for this.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck with that. I don't think you're going to be able to do that, honestly. By the way, when did the world become a dictatorship at this point? When did that happen?
The problem, folks, with restricting what you call misinformation is who decides what misinformation is and what isn't.
Right.
The people who told us all those things that weren't true, the people who censored the information, called it misinformation, and it was true about COVID and vaccines and lockdowns and all those things and laptops and everything else. Again, not political, folks. This is just strictly about freedom of speech. And pay attention historically. The people that try to limit freedom of speech are not the good guys. Nope. They're not the good guys.
We're the bad.
There's the ones that commit the genocides.
Yep.
Look it up. All right. It's what we do here. Freedom of speech is pretty important to what we do. So that's why we talk about it, and it's important. All right. Great job, Peter. Our thanks to Rick Ballou, who joined us live from the Jacksonville Jags Bucs practice. Appreciate him. Bob Melandro, Whitecap Sports, on the valuation and the sale of the Lightning. Very interesting. If you missed anything, please go like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate you doing that and supporting the show. You can always support the show there on our link tree as well. We'd love to get any support. Is always good support. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow with more fun and frivolity. See you then.